Bear with me here. I think my audio is working now. Let me know if you can hear us now. We are live here once again. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for the Nashville and Columbus, Indiana area. We have a tornado possible tag on it and wind to 70 miles per hour. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. 70-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible tag on it. The storm is moving off to the north and northeast at looks like, see if they have a forward motion on here. I don't know if they put a forward motion on there. This is in effect here for 35 more minutes here. This storm is a new storm that has popped up. Area of rotation, there's kind of a couple area of rotations in here. Strongest right in here west, or I guess east of Elkinsville, and also down in here. These are two cells merging together. This is just to the east of Brown County State Park, moving east towards Columbus. So if you're in Brown County State Park, you guys are in the clear. This is east of your location. But we are live here for this severe thunderstorm warning. This is a 70-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible here. This is for Nashville area, south and east of Nashville, moving towards the Columbus area. The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued this severe thunderstorm warning until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is for southern Brown County in central Indiana, southwestern Bartholomew County in central Indiana, and northwestern Jackson County in south central Indiana until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 10:22, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles south of Nashville or 17 miles east of Bloomington, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hazard 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, radar indicated. Yes, 70. This is one of the stronger tags of the evening in terms of wind. This is moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour. This will be moving towards the Columbus areas, moving east-northeast at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. There is some embedded rotation within this cell. We do have some broad rotation here. A little bit of a couplet right in here just south of Nashville. In the center of the polygon there, kind of have two different cells. You have cell 1 and cell 2. Both cells are kind of merging. They're interacting with each other, and that has allowed these storms to intensify and bring down some stronger winds aloft down to the ground. And to cause this severe thunderstorm warning for 70 miles per hour, penny-sized hail, but also that tornado possible. With these merging cells, we have a little bit of enhanced vorticity down at the surface, a little bit of enhanced low-level spin, and that has prompted not a tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. Penny-sized hail, tornado possible, as well as 70-mile-per-hour winds. Strongest winds right along the gust front here. But at the southern edge of these storms, you can have some embedded pockets of 70 mile per hour. I don't think everyone in this polygon will see 70 mile per hour winds. However, there is the chance of embedded pockets of 70 mile per hour wind gusts getting pulled down to the ground through RFD through these storms, as well as a possible tornado. Penny-sized hail also possible, especially in the cores of these storms. This is just south of Nashville, south of State Road 46. And for this reason, we did not sound the all clear yet on our pages. We've had a lot of people asking, are we in the all clear? Well, yes and no. While we are downtrending, there is still the non-zero chance of a thunderstorm going severe this evening for a little bit while longer yet, because there's just enough ingredients, not a lot, there's just enough to support a severe thunderstorm or two yet this evening. And this is what we have ongoing here. This storm will be moving near the Pikes Peak region right about now. Hail core coming into you. Houston, right on the southern edge, as well as Columbus, Indiana. Going to get pretty close to you. You're going to have to see how it holds in intensity as it comes to you. Go ahead and play it out here. You see the forward motion of the storm here, moving east-northeast at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. 70 mile per hour winds, tornado possible, and penny-sized hail associated with this too. These are really kind of two storm systems here, two cells that are kind of merging together and interacting with each other over the next few minutes or so. They have intensified, which prompted the severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible, as well as penny-sized hail as well. This is the only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana. There is a couple other heavier thunderstorms over the Brazil area. Not severe, sub-severe, maybe some pea-sized hail, some lightning, some heavy rain. But this is our only severe thunderstorm warning currently in the state of Indiana. We had some tornado warnings issued by Wilmington in southern Ohio a few minutes ago. Those have yet expired, and special weather statements have replaced those in southern Ohio. There's a little bit of rotation though, right in here. Right in here, you can see a little bit of a hook echo here. These are two kind of low top supercells, a little bit of broadly rotating updrafts. But the way they're interacting with each other, they can enhance low level spin at the low levels and bring that as well. I do not see an imminent tornado with these. I think damaging winds is the primary risk here with these cells, along with small hail. 70 winds, 70-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail, as well as a tornado possible here with this severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect here until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is for southern Brown County, south central Indiana, southwestern Bartholomew County, central Indiana, northwestern Jackson County, and south central Indiana until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 10:22, if the severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles south of Nashville or 17 miles east of Bloomington, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hazard 70-mile-per-hour winds and a tornado possible with this cell. You can see our little bit of a hook echo forming on our southern cell here. I think this is kind of clutter right in here. I wouldn't really call that strong rotation, at least not yet. I want to see it trend a little bit better. I think that's just some clear air on the leading edge of the storm. But there is some a little bit of rotation here within this cell. But this is mainly a damaging wind risk and a small hail risk at this point. But there is a tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning, meaning the rotation does not meet the criteria for a tornado warning, but it is something the National Weather Service is keeping an eye on right now. This is for southeastern Brown County, Bartholomew County, and northwestern Jackson County in central Indiana until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This storm is moving off to the north and east towards Columbus at 45 miles per hour. So I have about maybe 15 minutes or so before it gets closer to Columbus and the I-65 corridor here. Nashville, you guys are in the clear from this severe thunderstorm. Have some other storms behind you, but they are below severe criteria at this point in time. Same thing in the Brazil area. Over here along the I-70 corridor, Brazil, Greencastle have some thunderstorms below severe criteria over there. And this is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state. Northwest Indiana, going to see some thunder and lightning here in a little bit. These storms in northeast Illinois below severe criteria, but they do have some heavy rain and a lot of lightning with these as well. Could have some small hail up here in northwest Indiana. Some pea-sized hail can't be ruled out. Maybe up to dimes in a few of the cores up in here, but no severe weather is expected at this time in northwest Indiana. Currently, our only severe thunderstorm warning is a newer warning, just got issued. South central Indiana till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tornado possible, penny-sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds here with this severe thunderstorm warning. This storm is moving off to the east northeast at 45 miles per hour towards the Columbus area. If you're looking here, you can see your gust front here moving near the Ogleville area. Just push through Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak should be seeing conditions improve here over the next 5 minutes or so. This will be near Azalea and Elizabethtown, probably here in the next 15 minutes or so, as well as Columbus, Indiana. 70-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail, tornado possible for this severe thunderstorm. This is then southern Brown County, south central Indiana, southwestern Bartholomew County, central Indiana, and northwestern Jackson County in south central Indiana till 11 p.m. They just trimmed the warning back, but the warning text remains tornado possible, penny-sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. There's no real defined area of rotation here. It's mainly just one gust front with embedded pockets of weak rotation within it. Nothing that really screams an imminent tornado at this point in time, but there's enough of a little bit of spin there to where the National Weather Service, out of caution, went ahead and put a tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning. This storm is moving fairly quickly, about 45 miles per hour off to the east-northeast towards the Columbus I-65 corridor here in south central Indiana. This is our only severe thunderstorm in the state of Indiana at this present time. There are some other thunderstorms around Indiana associated with our warm front, stretched from Dayton, Ohio, south of Indianapolis, over towards the Illinois-Indiana state line. We also have a little bit of a dry line setting up in Illinois that has helped spark some showers and thunderstorms across the northwest Indiana. Could have some pea-sized hail, maybe up to dimes, and a few sporadic updrafts. No severe weather is expected up here at this time, but we'll keep an eye on them just in case we do see some hail develop in those. But likely below severe criteria for the evening. Could see some ponding, some hydrologic risks with those, as heavy rainfall falls on still frozen soils. Though we are muddy at the topsoil, you go down about 5 inches across northern Indiana, we are still frozen, at least to the point where it slows the percolation rate of water, which is the rate of which water is absorbed by the soil, which causes the topsoil to become saturated really quickly. That causes a lot of ponding and some excessive runoff fairly easily as well. So that's something that we're going to watch for as well. Quite a bit of moisture to work with here today. These storms are currently moving out of Brown County, Indiana. They're right on the county line here towards the Ogleville area, just southeast of Pikes Peak, along the 135 here, moving towards State Road 58. These cells are moving east northeast at 45 miles per hour, 70-mile-per-hour winds. And again, I don't think we'll see 70-mile-per-hour winds along this entire stretch. I think there's embedded pockets of stronger winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. I think it's weakened just a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on that. Still kind of some pockets of some brighter reflectivity here where you could have some stronger winds mixing down to the ground here as well. The warning remains till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tornado possible. Penny-size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds here with these two cells as they move off to the east and northeast at 45 miles per hour. Columbus, I would still, that's a good question, Allison. Yeah, I would still treat it as you would any other warning. I would move to an interior room away from windows, lowest level of your home, basement preferred if you don't have a basement. Go to a closet, interior room, bathroom, as long as you have as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Treat this as you would a tornado warning. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. Though this is not a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, we do have a tornado possible tag in this, indicating there is a couple areas of broad rotation that we're keeping an eye on, as well as the National Weather Service. If these area of rotation does increase, we'll see a tornado warning. However, I don't see an imminent tornado at this point in time, but tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. So do treat this with caution. Do take shelter. Go in your safe place. As we do have a lot of wind shear in place across Indiana, southern Indiana here tonight. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning actually in the entire Ohio Valley right now. All other severe thunderstorm warnings have been allowed to be canceled or expire. Currently in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tornado possible. Penny-size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is moving out of Brown County and moving towards the Ogleville area. Columbus, Indiana, I-65, State Road 46. Here comes the next scan there. You can kind of see two kind of discrete cells here, two separate cores as these storms kind of interact with each other a little bit. Columbus, Indiana, gonna get some heavy rain here, maybe some small hail moving in here, as well as some gusty winds. The strongest gust front is south of Columbus at this point in time. I'll kind of circle it here for you. Right in here. Right in here is the strongest winds associated with this storm here. It's kind of moving more east versus northeast here. We'll see how that trend continues. I don't know if I see 70-mile-per-hour winds, or at least not anymore. There could be some stronger winds mixing to the ground, absolutely. The National Weather Service doesn't issue severe thunderstorm warnings for no reason. But 60 mile per hour, I could see that, especially on the southern end of the storm. Reef activity is a little bit brighter down here, a little bit more winds associated with that. But there could be some wind mixing down all along this line. We call this a shear line, where you see winds going this way, and then you have reds going south. So along that boundary, that's called a shear line, where you have winds moving at different directions and speed. And that is our gust front associated with this. Greens go toward the radar, reds go away from the radar. But you notice how we don't have a tight couplet. And though the winds are moving in different directions, they're not really spinning. They're just running parallel to each other. But there is some embedded, perhaps, rotation along this, which is why we do have a tornado possible here on this tag. But this is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana. Could be a few thunderstorms still remaining across northern Indiana, northwest Indiana. No severe weather is expected north of Indianapolis here this evening. Could be some lightning, some heavy rain, maybe some pea-sized hail, especially in northwest Indiana, but severe weather is not expected north of the warm front here this evening. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning, state of Indiana. Now it has moved completely out of Brown County and moving towards the Columbus area. This is for southeastern Brown County, southwestern Bartholomew, and north central Jackson counties. This is until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 10:32, severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles southwest of Columbus, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hazard 70 mile per hour wind gusts, radar indicated. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Remain alert for possible tornadoes. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once in a basement or a small central room in a sturdy structure. Not a significant amount of rotation here, but perhaps maybe some broad rotation south of the Orgoville area. We do have a tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning, which does include Columbus until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana. As we do have tornado possible tag, penny size hail, 70 mile per hour winds. This warning is in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 20 more minutes. The storm is moving fairly quickly. As far as storms have been moving today, they've been moving rather slow, but this one is moving fairly quickly, coming into Columbus as we speak. You can see the gust front coming near the Orgoville area right now, as well as getting ready to blow across State Road 58. Approaching I-65 here fairly soon. You can see Indianapolis is on rapid scan. They're scanning this cell very, very quickly as they're keeping an eye on it for any changes this cell may possess. There is a little bit of perhaps maybe some broad rotation right in here where you see those reds and greens come together. Nothing substantial that really screams an imminent tornado, but it is something to keep an eye on. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, which is a level 2 out of 3. We have our baseline severe, which is 60 or 58 mile per hour winds, quarter size hail. And then our considerable warning, 70 mile per hour winds, golf ball size hail. And then if we go to 80 mile per hour winds, that becomes a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So we're at a level 2 out of 3 in our severe thunderstorm warning criteria. This is actually one of our, I think this might be our first considerable severe thunderstorm warning of the night. We've had several severe thunderstorm warnings, but I don't know if we've had a considerable one yet. So I think this is our first considerable severe thunderstorm warning tonight in the state of Indiana. Tornado possible, penny size hail, and 70 mile per hour winds. The wind is what makes this severe thunderstorm warning considerable because it is 70 mile per hour. This is moving off to the east at 45 miles per hour. Coming into the I-65 corridor here pretty quick. This is in effect until 11 p.m. Nice. The strongest portion of the cell appears to be the southern portion of the cell, south of the Ogleville area. This will be moving off to the east at 45 miles an hour towards the Azalea area. Jonesville as well, though not directly included in the warning. You may get some strong winds associated with this as well, as it is moving more east versus northeast. Elizabethtown, you're on deck for some strong winds. If it holds together, we got Grammar and North Vernon, as well as Westport be on deck for this cell if it holds together as it moves in your direction. We'll have to see how it trends here. They just trimmed the warning back. Still a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado possible, 70 mile an hour winds, penny size hail. So they have trimmed it out of Brown County. We'll see the warning get cut back. There we go. Still a little bit of rotation here, just south of the Orgoville area. Kind of a bookend vortex feature, but I think this is more in the way of straight line winds. Have a nice bowed out appearance here with pockets of embedded straight line winds coming through there. And you can see that here on reflectivity. Nice boat out front, strong winds, strong winds. Straight line winds, and then there is some embedded weak areas of rotation as well. So we do have tornado possible tag within this severe thunderstorm warning. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, which is a level 2 out of 3. We have a baseline severe thunderstorm warning, which is 58 miles per hour or greater, quarter-sized hail or greater, or possible tornado. A considerable severe thunderstorm warning, 70 mile per hour winds, golf ball size hail, or a possible tornado. And then we have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, which is the highest level you can go, 80 mile per hour winds associated with that. This is the level 2 out of 3. I believe this is our first considerable severe thunderstorm warning of the night here in Indiana. You can see Indianapolis is on rapid scan as the radar is going around very, very quickly here as they're rapidly scanning this cell to make sure nothing changes within it. There is a broad area of rotation south of Columbus, but currently possesses more of a straight line wind risk at this point in time. Still remains a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible, penny size hail, 70 mile per hour winds. Getting ready to cross and is crossing I-65. Columbus seeing some very heavy rain right now, as well as some small hail, penny size hail within the core of this storm. We'll go ahead and turn on our VIL here. We can look at the hail core. Not a significant hail core with this. Hail is not really a big concern with this storm, but if you have really strong winds, even some small hailstones can cause damage if you have wind-driven hail. But the strongest portion of this cell does appear to be south of Columbus, near the Orgoville area, getting ready to come towards Azalea and Elizabethtown. The southern portion here seems to be the strongest right in here, and this is all moving off to the east-northeast at 45 miles per hour. We'll have to see if we get a downstream warning here or not. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 14 minutes till 11 p.m., though this storm is moving quite fast. I want to say it's moving faster than 45 miles per hour. We'll have to see if we get a downstream warning or not on this cell. This is currently the only severe thunderstorm warning in Indiana and the entire Midwest and Ohio Valley at this time. Currently in effect for the Columbus area. We'll have to see if we get a downstream warning or not. Currently, the warning has been trimmed back for just Bartholomew County at this point in time. It was allowed to be trimmed out of Brown County, as the storm is now fully in Bartholomew County from Columbus southward. If you're in Hope, you should be okay. Probably some heavy rain, maybe some thunder, but the storm up there is below severe criteria. Personally, I don't know if I see 70 mile per hour winds within this, but there could be some pockets of 60 mixing down on the south side of this cell for sure. I'm not 100% sure if I'm sold on 70, but there's definitely some stronger winds mixing down aloft on the south side of the cell. But the National Weather Service has allowed this warning to remain a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. 70 mile per hour winds, tornado possible, penny size hail. But I'm not 100% sure, convinced that there's 70 mile per hour winds occurring at least anymore. There were some pockets of stronger winds when this warning was first issued, which prompted the considerable warning. But the storm looks to have weakened a little bit as well, which is something we're going to run into when we're really limited on instability across southern Indiana. We have a lot of wind shear. We have decent lift with our warm front that the storm is riding along. And we have plenty of moisture to work with, so we can check the boxes on those three. But to really make severe weather long-lived and significant, we need instability, which is the energy needed for these storms to tap in and also utilize the other ingredients aloft. We just don't have a lot of instability down here. You hear us talk about joules per kilogram in instability. That's the way we measure how much instability is in a common column of air. Really, this time of year, think like 500 is a baseline. 500 joules per kilogram. We have about less than 200 or less right now in southern Indiana. So we're below the threshold, but we have enough for thunderstorms. And occasionally, just enough for a thunderstorm to become severe. This storm is still has a warning on it, but the fact that we keep seeing it trimmed back without a downstream extension would lead me to believe that they also believe the storm is weakening a little bit. I personally don't see 70-mile-per-hour winds anymore within this storm, but there is a nice little skinny hail core likely within the storm south of Columbus coming towards the Elizabethtown. I think the strongest winds will be near the Azalea area. However, I really don't see 70-mile-per-hour winds. 45, 50 mile per hour, maybe approaching 60 mile per hour in pockets, I think is definitely possible. But I don't see 7-0 anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep the severe thunderstorm warning or allow it to expire. But this is the only severe thunderstorm warning currently in Indiana. Tornado possible, penny size hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. Although I do believe the storm has weakened below severe criteria. I don't think we'll see an extension of the considerable warning. We may see a special weather statement or a baseline severe thunderstorm warning get extended. But I do believe this storm has fallen below the criteria for a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. But I don't have any doubt that there are some strong winds getting mixed down to the ground. We can clearly see a nice gust front on the leading edge here. But do I think it's 70 miles per hour winds? I really don't at this time. I don't like downplaying severe thunderstorm warnings at all, but I don't see um, these winds approaching 70 miles per hour anymore at this time. I think 45 to maybe baseline severe to 58 is possible. Columbus, Indiana. I think you guys are in the clear now. The worst of it is now moving off to the south and east. Still have some thunderstorms around, um, but looking around the state here, heavy thunderstorms moving into northwest Indiana. Could have some small hail associated with those. Heavy rain, lots of lightning with these for sure. If you're going to bed in northwest Indiana, you're probably going to be woken up. If you're in the Rensselaer area, Crown Point area south, Kentland for sure, you're getting a lot of lightning and heavy rain. Watch out for ponding. Our soils are still somewhat frozen a little bit, especially below the topsoil horizons. Once you go about 3 to 5 inches down, we're semi-frozen still, so that can slow the percolation rate of this water being absorbed by the into the soil. That can cause topsoils to become saturated fairly quickly and can lead to excessive ponding and runoff. Our severe thunderstorm warning is still hanging on, but I believe they'll let it expire here. We'll have to see if we get anything issued downstream or not. It is still a considerable warning. However, I do believe it has fallen below considerable criteria. We'll have to see if we get anything issued downstream. I think special weather statement would probably be more probable at this point in time. But it is weakening, and that's thanks to limited instability. Pretty decent cell near the Greencastle area. Heavy rain, small hail, and some nice little gust front on the leading edge. You can actually see what we call an outflow boundary. That's a gust front protruding out away from the storm, maybe 30-mile-per-hour winds or so associated with that, just below special weather statement criteria. Here comes our next update here. Have to see what they decide to do here as well. We're also getting ready to move into different NWS offices as well once you get down in here. So we'll have to see what those offices feel as well. Most of our rain and storms have moved into Ohio. If you know anybody in eastern Ohio, all the way to Columbus, Ohio, we have flash flood warnings in place here for torrential rainfall and training thunderstorms. We have rainfall rates 2 to 3 inches per hour that has been here for a long time as well. We have, very bad situation here from Xenia, Ohio to Columbus in terms of flash flooding. So do watch out if you're traveling along I-70 corridor over towards Dayton or towards Columbus. Our severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. We are now in all clear mode once again. We have no active warnings in the state of Indiana. We have a lot of flood advisories, so we'll hit on those briefly here. Ponding, training thunderstorms possible tonight. Could lead to excessive runoff and ponding on area roadways as well. But our severe thunderstorm risk is quite low here tonight. But we'll be watching it because you never know. If occasional storm can tap into the wind shear that we have aloft. This one did briefly. But the good news is from here on out, long-lived severe weather is not expected.
we are expected to be quite short lived and sporadic in terms of our severe weather. It's too early to give the all clear yet. Unfortunately, we just can't do it for this reason below, as there is the off chance that a storm could perhaps become severe. And the best chance for that, if I go back to one screen, is going to be in this zone here, central Indiana. Think the I-70 corridor um, from Columbus, Indiana, Noblesville, and south. This area here has the best chance of seeing a severe thunderstorm. And the reason is, though the dynamics are not much different down here in Evansville and Louisville, we don't really have a trigger to allow storms to form in southern Indiana. Central Indiana, we have a warm front, which is draped right in here. This is where all these storms are firing along and traveling along. This warm front is acting as a stationary boundary at this point in time. But we also have a unique feature in Illinois. We have a dry line. That's something that is not often talked about in Illinois, in the Midwest region, as we don't often have dry lines. But in the early winter months, late winter months, early spring months, where we don't have a lot of moisture to work with anyway, you can get dry lines to set up if you have a big area of low pressure, which is sitting right here. This is our low pressure responsible for our severe weather today. The cold front is still way back in here. But what happens is you get strong winds out of the south, which can really just mix out a lot of that moisture, and you can get a dry line to set up. And that can act as a trigger to get storms up, which we have here. Eventually, though, our cold front is going to catch up, and it's going to get cold here tonight. So any excess ponding that we have on area roadways here tonight, there is a potential that we could have some black ice tomorrow morning. I don't think it's going to be a big issue because we're going to get very windy. In fact, let me show you how windy we're going to get here before we hop off. We'll briefly talk about it here while I have you live here. Go ahead and pull it up here. This is the HRRR model here. Here's our cold front coming through here. A lot of wind here behind it. The entire state of Indiana could see wind gusts to 30 to 40 miles per hour. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Northern Indiana, though, could see gusts. This is where a wind advisory is in place. Wind gusts to 50 miles per hour possible. Think Kokomo and north tomorrow across northern Indiana. Could see winds to 50 miles per hour, and then winds taper off. This is 9 o'clock here tomorrow night. West winds 20 to gusts. These are wind gusts, by the way. Sustained winds about probably 15 to 30 miles per hour throughout the entire state as an average. Strongest winds north of Indianapolis. Calmer winds the further south you go. And that's because our area of low pressure is sitting right up in here, close to Kalamazoo, Michigan. And we have a really tight pressure gradient because our area of low pressure is deepening. It's becoming stronger. And because of that, we get a lot of wind. So some spotty power outages can't really be ruled out across northern Indiana. But also look at our temperatures. You're going to hate me for showing you this because right now we're in the 50s and even 60s across southern Indiana. But here comes our cold front here tonight. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we're in the 30s. We do warm up along the Ohio River, warm in quotes. It's going to feel cold because we're not going to be as warm as what we have been. But people in northern Indiana will think you're tropical down here. We're in the low 30s, around freezing across northern Indiana, mid 40s along the Ohio River, and we could even have. You're really not going to like me now. We could even have a few snow showers across northern Indiana. On the backside of this low, we could have some moisture wrap around, some snow showers. Not really looking at any accumulating snow, but it's still snow at the end of the day. Mother Nature is going to remind us what month we are in. We are not in April yet. We are still in February, and tomorrow will be a stark reminder of that reality. So back to the radar here before I let you go. We're going to continue watching trends here behind the scenes. Showers and thunderstorms primarily in this area here has the best chance for a strong thunderstorm, but northern Indiana could still see some rumbles of thunder here before the all night is done. Largest hazard here tonight is actually going to be ponding. Heavy rain and ponding from training showers and thunderstorms could lead to hydrologic concerns across the state of Indiana from excessive rainfall. Currently, our severe thunderstorm was allowed to expire. Still kind of maybe even a broad area of rotation here within this cell. Going to have to keep an eye on it here. In fact, we might stay live here just a little bit longer just to make sure this cell behaves itself over the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. Just because there is still just a little bit of rotation associated with it. Not tornado warned or warned at this point in time. It's not, I don't think it's meeting that threshold, but there is still just enough there to where I don't want to exit this live stream just to see another warning come on. So you're welcome to stay on if you want. We're going to keep an eye on it here for a little bit. If you guys have any questions or anything about the rest of the night or the upcoming pattern over the near term, now's a great time to ask it while you have me here. We'll be posting forecasts and updates on the page here tomorrow, talking about our wind potential, but also our little bit of snow across northern Indiana. Not a big issue tomorrow, but it's still snow at the end of the day, and it's still no fun after getting this taste of spring. So we're just going to keep an eye on this cell here just a little bit longer here. Nothing too significant at this point in time, but I want to make sure it does not re-intensify here before we hop off for the evening. Yeah, pouring in Azalea. Have a lot of viewers here from Azalea. Great to see you here. Probably some heavy rain. Should be lightening up here pretty soon. Let me know what the winds were in Azalea. I'd like to know how strong they were. Based on radar, I want to say they're between 45 and 50, and probably closer to 30 miles per hour now. But I'd be curious to know where they are out. Quite a few areas are without power. In fact, let me look at the current power outages in the state of Indiana. That's a great thing to comment on. Let me just pull that up here real quick. Not too bad overall. The highest outage is actually near Bloomington right now. So overall in the state of Indiana, we have 3,131 customers without power right now. And Monroe County has the highest percentage of that at just under 2,000 customers without power in and around the Bloomington area. We did have a confirm, or the tornado hasn't been rated yet, but we had a law enforcement and emergency management confirmed tornado, as well as a debris ball on radar. So they're still cleaning that up. We did post on the page earlier, Monroe County Emergency Management is asking you to stay off the roads here tonight, especially on the west side of Bloomington where the storm was hit. They're having issues with people becoming a hindrance to law enforcement in that area. So if you are in an area that was affected by storms, please stay off the roads and let emergency management do their jobs safely and securely without the roads being clogged for them. But we are still watching the storm. It does have some rotation in it. Once again, you can see a hook echo on radar here and a little bit of a couplet here forming. So we are going to keep an eye on this storm as it approaches just northwest of North Vernon here. So we're going to stay on here a little bit longer just to watch that. Do I think it's strong enough for a tornado warning? Not at this point, but it is something to watch and monitor. And I don't want to hop off here if the storm does intensify to enough to prompt a tornado or a severe thunderstorm warning with a TOR possible tag in it. So we're going to stay here for a few more minutes here. But currently, all the storms are below severe criteria in the state of Indiana. Yeah, a lot of these storms, Allison, are pretty short-lived right now. Kind of a burst of wind, heavy rain, and then they light up. They're really not very large right now, and that's really thanks to a lot of the instability is waning. But we do have to keep an eye on them as there's a lot of wind shear present. So if they do find any pockets of instability, that could spark a storm to become strong, but for a short-lived duration. But currently, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings or statements in the state of Indiana, although we are watching this low-topped storm just to the southeast of Columbus, as it does exhibiting some broad rotation within it. So keeping an eye on it right now, just to make sure it does not intensify here before we hop off. Wayne County, Richmond, yep, you're good. Could have some heavy rain, maybe some lightning, but severe weather is not expected for you the rest of the evening. A little bit tighter of a couplet here. You can see where those reds and greens are holding hands just a little bit more. Nothing significant, but it is something that we are keeping an eye on. Still below tornado warning criteria for the most part, but it is getting ever so closer. But so far, these storms are below severe criteria. The biggest threat right now is heavy rain. Burn, Indiana. You guys are well north of the warm front. Northern Indiana, no severe weather is expected for you. Now, we did have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings last night and early this morning, even till about lunchtime today. Hail was being reported, even accumulating hail in Huntington. I saw a video of a couple people like using snow shovels to clear the hail off their sidewalks in Huntington, Indiana, earlier today, around 10, 11 o'clock, or earlier this morning, or maybe it was this afternoon, but it's been a busy day. But there's been a lot of accumulating hail here today that kind of looked like snow in many areas, but in fact, it was hail. But if you're north of I-70, northern Indiana, you guys should be in the clear. Could still have some rain, thunderstorms here tonight, but I really don't think anything will go severe north of I-70 because there's no instability up there. There is enough ingredients aloft to support some thunderstorms, and some pea-sized hail can't be ruled out. But I really don't see anything going severe north of I-70. But I do want to watch this cell just a little bit longer here in Indiana just to make sure it does not go severe here. Right now, it is behaving. It is below severe threshold. Um, but I do want to keep an eye on it here before we sign off here this evening. The tornado watch has been allowed to expire in Indiana. That expired at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So we currently have no tornado watches in Indiana anymore here this evening. And give it about just a few more minutes here, and then we're going to sign off here and monitor things here behind the scenes. Here's our next scan. Not super impressive with that, but still has a hook on radar associated with that. But it does appear to be on a weakening trend. But looking around Indiana, I really don't see anything that really catches my eye immediately. Still watching a couple cells across southern Indiana, but I really don't see anything significant at this point in time. Northern Indiana, northwest Indiana specifically, some heavy thunderstorms, maybe some small hail embedded in there, but nothing too crazy going on up there. We don't have any instability, but we do have a lot of lightning. So you're probably gonna wake up if you're in northwest Indiana. You're gonna hear these storms for sure and wake up. But I don't see anything too crazy right now in northwest Illinois. A new special weather statement just got issued for north of the Cincinnati area. Or I guess that's been there a little bit. It just re-popped up on my screen, I guess. We'll give it here till a couple more minutes here, and then we will hop off here. Give it to about 11, 12 or so. If you guys have any questions while we're in here, now's the time to ask. Just please try to refrain from asking about specific locations. The entire state is pretty low right now. But I still want to keep an eye on this cell here, probably for the next 15, maybe less than that. But everything is weakening here at this point in time. We'll give it here 2 more minutes, and then at 11:12, we will call it quits here. We'll continue to watch radar here behind the scenes. If you do see anything, we'll hop back on and we'll talk about it here. If we have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, we'll hop back on here. But either of those seem to be very slim here on out. Our tornado watch was allowed to be expired here this evening. We don't have a lot of instability needed to support thunderstorm or severe weather here this evening. We do have enough ingredients to support some thunderstorms, heavy rain, small hail, maybe some gusty winds. But the severe weather risk is quite low here on out here this evening. Not impossible, but it is on the lower end of things. But we do still occasionally have a stronger storm. Um, can't entirely be ruled out. We do have a measured wind gust of 64 miles per hour. That may have helped prompted the considerable severe thunderstorm warning. That was actually in Brown County, southeastern Brown County, measured wind gust of 64 miles per hour. So that likely prompted that considerable severe thunderstorm warning that just got published. Sounds like some trees were snapped in southeastern Brown County as well from straight line winds. Now, granted, that was a public report, but it was still published as a storm report for a measured wind gust. So go ahead and circle it here one more time. The best area to maybe see a strong storm right in here. If you're not in this narrow corridor along and south of I-70, across central Indiana, probably not going to see any strong thunderstorm here tonight. All of areas along and north of this in northern Indiana could still see some rain, embedded thunderstorms, but the entire severe weather risk is very low from here on out here tonight. If you're in southern Indiana near the Ohio River, probably not going to see too much activity down here. We're just too far away from any forcing to really support that. The best area for flash flooding is going to be in this area along the warm front, which is situated right in here. Along this warm front is where these thunderstorms are traveling along, and this warm front is what's allowing these thunderstorms to develop in central Indiana and central Ohio. We have a dry line setting up right in here with an occluded front to the north, with a cold front right behind that. That's going to keep these storms going in northwest Indiana and perhaps western Indiana, but these storms should remain below severe criteria for the duration of the evening. We really don't see anything too significant ongoing at this point in time. Which is good. We don't want to see anything more develop here this evening. can go ahead and play it here, and you can see the duration of the storm. So the storm that we were talking about of interest appears to be weakening quite a bit. So with that being said, probably going to hop off here, but we'll continue to monitor things here behind the scenes. If we do see a considerable severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, we will hop on and we'll talk about it. But we do expect these to be short-lived in duration due to our lack of instability. With that being said, have a great evening. Most of Indiana should not see a severe thunderstorm here tonight, but many of you will hear some thunder, have some heavy rain, maybe some pea-sized hail, or some brief gusty winds, but that's about it here for the remainder of the night. Thanks to our limited instability from here on out. Enjoy the last couple hours of warm, mild temperatures. Mother Nature will remind us what time of year it is tomorrow. We drop into the 30s, but we could also have some very strong winds. We have a wind advisory in place across northern Indiana. Winds could gust 45 to 50 miles per hour across northern Indiana and 30 to 40 miles per hour across central Indiana. Isolated power outages are possible. So again, take care. Have a good evening. Watch out for ponding on area roadways here tonight. We have several flood advisories in place here across the state here this evening. Take care, and we'll continue to monitor things behind the scenes.